Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome. Thank you for joining me again wherever you are. Shalom. And welcome again if you are joining in the morning, afternoon, evening, night. Welcome. So, in this video, I just want to talk about a few updates that are taking place around the world. A lot is happening. And these are some main events that I've seen happen over the last few days. So I just wanted to talk about them. And I'm going to be also reading a few scriptures too for us to get started. So in this video, I want to talk about the foolish leadership that we are seeing from Edom, the pride of their hearts has really led them astray and has made them believe that they can do no wrong and that they will not fall. But as we all know, if you read your scriptures, if you have the Ruach HaKodesh, if you follow the Most High Yahuwah and His Son Yahusha, you know that they will fall. And their fall will be an astonishment for all the world to see. I watched the address yesterday. I think it was I just want to get the name of this address. It was not a State of the Union that was given. I'm gonna get the name of it because I don't want to mix it up. Okay, so it's a Congress speech that was given. Is an address to joint address to Congress that was given yesterday. And this was, I think it was one day after, one day after the same day, because he did it on Tuesday were the tariffs. So it was the same day. It was just later on in the evening that he gave the address to Congress. So yes, same day after he put the tariffs in place for Mexico, China, and Canada, he did this address. And since then, the stock market has went down. And the latest update that I know of is the big three automakers in the U.S. Had a meeting with the President of the United States, and he agreed to hold off tariffs on those automakers, which is usually like Canada and Mexico. I think the big three have plants. They'll be holding off the 25% tariffs for that time, for 30 days. And he thinks that the President of the United States thinks that somehow these tariffs, again, the External Revenue Service, that this is going to be good for the United States, that it's going to be, America finally standing up and, not being taken advantage of, and how, America is going to be in this golden age and America's going to flourish, and he's going to bring manufacturing back. He's going to bring back the jobs, and this golden age is just going to flourish, and everyone's going to have so much wealth and resources, and he's going to drill, baby drill, because he doesn't need the oil from Canada. And all of these things he said during this joint address to Congress. And none of it is true. None of it is true. I made a video, I think it was last month, called America is Broke. America is still broke. And they will continue to be broke, and it's going to get worse. There is no golden age. America is under judgment. And these external revenue service actions that he's taking by applying tariffs to these countries is only going to backfire on him. I mean, if it was such a good thing, then why did the big three automakers go to Trump and ask for him to reconsider applying those tariffs? Why? All the President of the United States, his actions are going to do is it's going to isolate America more and more. Trump has also talked about tariffs on Europe because, again, he's saying they've been treated unfairly. So got to put tariffs on Europe as well. And since the last video that I did, the President of the United States and his administration have cut off all financial support to Ukraine. And I just learned before coming here to talk with all of you that he has also cut off all intelligence sharing with the Eastern European country. So no sharing of intelligence. That includes satellite intelligence. No financial aid whatsoever. He also cut off assistance in rebuilding the power grid in Ukraine. I think the staff was at 64 people, and it's now down to a skeleton staff, essential staff, that needs to be there of 8. So they're not going to be fixing Ukraine's power grid. The United States is not going to be helping to restore that either. At the same time, that Trump has, just going back to the tariffs, the same time that he has cut off tariffs, he has imposed tariffs on Canada, making it harder for the Canadian government to do business for things like oil, lumber, just everything, because I think it's across the board. It would also include what's called potash, which is what farmers use to grow their crops. I heard that he's now having discussions, or his administration is having discussions with Russia about the different resources that Russia has. So, what's going on? What's really happening here? What is happening? What are we seeing? This is a continuation of the fall of Babylon. It is a continuation of us all watching America go broke. It's a continuation of the foolish leadership of Edom. They are leading Babylon off a cliff, and everyone's watching it. And they are not going to be able to see that they are encircled and that they're going down. They're not going to see it. They will not see it at all. The United States government, the leadership, is not going to see it. Even if, let's say, a few of them have a realization that what we are doing in the long term is going to destroy us. Those that are around them, they're just going to explain it away. They're just going to explain it away. And what has already been written by the Most High, whatever has been foretold by the Most High, no matter what they do to try to get out of it, no matter how they try to reason themselves out of it, think their way out of it, fight their way out of it, it's going to come to the same conclusion, which is the fall of Babylon, the destruction of Edom. They're not going to be able to do nothing to get out of this situation. Nothing. And they will try. They will try their best to find a way out of it. It won't help them at all. Okay? It's not going to help them. I would like to share a few scriptures. Obadiah chapter 1, 3 to 7. And this is a King James version that I'll be reading. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahuwah. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not have some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. I'm also going to read verse 8 as well. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahuwah, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And I'll read verse 9 as well. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end, that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So there is no understanding in Esau. There are no wise men of Edom. They will not see that those that they're in a confederacy with, the confederacy, you can find reference to it in Psalm 83. You can read the whole chapter. Their confederacy, the ones that they have made alliances with, they think that it could never happen. That these nations and people that they've made agreements with, alliances with, even friendships with, that they would never betray them. But that is exactly what we are getting ready to see. We are getting ready to see Edom be betrayed. We are getting ready to see the deception that has been laid out for Edom as a trap. And they are going to fall right into the trap. They're going to go right into it. They're not going to see what is happening. They're not going to be able to avoid it. Okay? This is what we are witnessing when we see the President of the United States stand up and say, we have never been better, that we are in our golden age, and it will only get better from here. That's what we are seeing, right? When Zelensky said in front of the media, in front of the world, and he said that you have a big ocean separating you, but you will know our pain. You will know what this is like, referring to the war that his country is currently in. When he made reference to that, and the President of the United States said, you don't know that. Don't tell us what we're going to feel. You're in no position to tell us anything. And he went on to say to Zelensky that he has no cards. Why would Zelensky say that? What does he know that he would say that for everyone to hear? I think that's a good starting point to think about why he would say that. What does he know that we don't know? I'm going to read Ezekiel 25, 11. Let's read 11 to 15. And I will execute judgments upon Moab, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people, Yasharal, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah, because the Philistines have dealt by revenge and have taken vengeance with a despiteful heart to destroy it for the old hatred. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah, behold, I will stretch out mine hand upon the Philistines, and I will cut off the cherethims and destroy the remnant of the sea coast. I'll read to 17 as well. And I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. Yes. Thank you, Yahuwah, for these words. Thank you. Thank you, Yahuwah. Let your name be exalted always and forever. Thank you. Jeremiah chapter 50. I'll read 1 to 3. The word that Yahuwah spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken. Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Yes, thank you, Yahuwah. And what did Yahuwah say? What did he say to Yasharal in Deuteronomy 32, verse 35? To me belongeth vengeance and recompense. Their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste. Vengeance belongs to Yahuwah and no one else. The Most High already knows everything that is going to be taking place. Before the foundations of this world, He knows everything that will take place. And what we are seeing is we are seeing a setup. And the setup, there's so many parts to this setup for Babylon to fall. There is a financial setup that must take place, right? I mean, they're telling you that, here comes the golden age. that, we're going to do reciprocal tariffs, that we're just going to do what is fair, and we have been treated very badly, right? They tell you, the United States government tells its people and the world that they have been treated very badly. But yet they can't tell you all of the wickedness that they have done around the world. They can't tell you all the wickedness that they have done to Yasharal, right? All of our so-called Black brothers and sisters, they can't point out their own wickedness that they have done, and they refuse to repent. They refuse to acknowledge and say, we have done wrong. They are always going to have an answer to tell you why something bad is happening, and they're always going to be able to tell you about their might and their strength and how amazing they are and how they're going to fight, right? If someone bothers them, how they're going to have regret if someone bothers them, if someone attacks them, But yet they can't point out what's right in front of them. They can't repent for what wrong they see that is right in front of them. They cannot say, we're going to make this right. We didn't treat those that are descendants of slaves properly. We have not acknowledged what we have done. But when all of these calamities that are going to come upon Babylon, also called the United States of America, and just to note, Babylon, it's a whole system that is worldwide, but the United States is at the top of it. They are the nucleus of it. They are the ones that set the tone of Babylon. They are the leader of Babylon. When all of these calamities come on to the United States, there is nothing that they're going to be able to do to stop it. It is going to signal their fall. It is going to signal in a swift manner the loss of all power, all might. They won't even have words to speak at what they're going to see. They're not going to be able to explain it. That is why the scripture says it's an astonishment, meaning that we are going to see it. When we see it, it's going to astonish the world, what we're going to see. And as I said, it is financial, yes, but it's their land. Their land will be made desolate. So what would happen that a land will be made desolate? Their whole system, their whole government is going to be destroyed. Complete and utter destruction. And when the Most High says he is going to destroy a nation, when he says he's going to let his vengeance upon a nation, his wrath, it is not like how we, as Yasharal, can sit and try and think about what that would mean, even for those that are in the world that may try to use their imagination. We are not going to be able to fully understand and grasp what that means until we see it. Because again, it's going to be an astonishment. It's going to take our breath away. It's going to be where it's going to leave people speechless. It's going to be something where we're going to have to see it to understand the destruction that Yahuwah is going to bring to this nation. If you have the Ruach HaKodesh, you know that when you saw this address to Congress, when you see the President of the United States speaking, when you hear all of these people in his administration talking, how they talk with such pride, they talk with such arrogance of what they are getting accomplished, of what they are doing. Is it just me that can see that these people are being set up for a great fall? I don't think so. I think many in Yisrael can see what is taking place. That these people don't have very much time, but they think that they do. And these are foolish leaders. Look at what they're doing. They have shut down parts of government where they had to go back and try to find the people that they let go. They had to go back to try and rehire them. And I think they weren't even able to find contacts for some of them. I'm talking about there's a nuclear department, or there's a team in one of the departments in the U.S. government that handles the nuclear weapons. They weren't able to locate them, and they had to scramble to find them, to rehire them. It's tax season, but instead of letting tax season pass and, making sure everything is hurried up and done and everyone can get their taxes put in, they decide, what, now is the best time to lay off these people. Thousands of workers in the IRS. Now is the best time to lay them off because they're broke, because they have to get things into place, because they want to turn the United States over into some type of automated system where you log in, you have a key where you log in for your social security, for IRS, for Medicare, for Medicaid, and all other services that you have. Housing, whatever your service is, hey, you can do it by yourself. You can log in, and you don't need all these people in this office they have to call in and talk to. Just go online and do it by yourself, because what Elon Musk wants to do is he wants to have everything automated, AI for everything. And that is what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing, right? In a video that I did previously about planes, trains, and automobiles, I did touch on in the part 2 that they may want to even use AI, Well, the AI would be used for helping these, what is it, traffic controllers to land the planes. I think that contract was supposed to be with Verizon. I think it's the technology for that. Now I'm hearing that Elon Musk, one of his companies, would be responsible for landing the planes. And of course, it would be used with AI to prevent, according to them, the accidents and the collisions that we have seen over the last few months. This is what we're seeing. Because why do you need people? Why do you need people, right? I mean, you should just be working. If we need you to work, you do that work. And that's it. So just a note of what I'm seeing here, because I touched on Elon Musk. He's saying that for the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, that 120-hour work week makes sense to him. And working 7 days a week at 17 hours a day or 24-hour shifts for 5 days makes sense. And why would you need a weekend off? Right? Why would you need a weekend off? Why observe Shabbat? This is what he is advocating as one of the leaders in the current government. This is what he's saying, right? You also have I think his name is Pete Hegseth. He is the Secretary of Defense for the United States. He has moved, was it about 14,000 troops to the southern border? Why would you need to move 14,000 troops to the southern border? And this is not all at once. This is them being moved little by little to reach up to the number that I'm saying. So I think the most recent amount that they've moved is 1,500 troops that were moved most recently. So a lot of things are happening. They also, of course, are saying DEI is done, doesn't exist anymore, but do we really care about that? It did not really do nothing for us because it mostly was for wasn't for us. It was for white women. They benefited the most from it, not us. So, okay. And when they do these things, the people that voted for this didn't realize that they would be affected. They're just all over the place crying and trying to figure out how this happened to them. But again, if you are in a relationship with the Most High Yahuwah, you know exactly what you're seeing, and what we're seeing is judgment. That's right. What we're seeing is judgment. And they're going to continue saying these outlandish things. They're going to continue doing these outlandish things. They're going to continue isolating themselves, doing things that we didn't think that they would do. Right? And it's okay. It's fine. It's going to continue. It's going to continue. This External Revenue Service is going to continue try to find money from other organizations. It's going to continue, or other nations and peoples. It's going to continue. Because they got to collect that money. They have trillions of dollars that are owed. I think it's almost $40 trillion in debt. They have the most debt. The United States has the most debt of any country in the world. So as I said, they're going to continue to fight and fight and fight. And everything is going as planned. As the Most High wants it to happen, it's going as planned. And they are being placed, the United States and those that want to align themselves with them, they're being placed in a position that they are not going to be able to come out of. They're not going to be able to overcome what is coming. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little. Share your comments below. And thank you once again for joining me. Shalom.